WNBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the New York Liberty going up against the Indiana Fever. Here in the hoops heartland of Indiana, I'm Blake Suniga. Joining me are Brian Banafanteni and Tim Swartz. Thanks for tuning in. The first Commissioner's Cup was back in 2021. The Seattle Storm won the inaugural version.
Hey, Brianna Stewart, the first MVP of the Commissioner's Cup championship game. The WNBA introducing the second competition to give the regular season a little extra spice.
And the Liberty start out with the ball. Outside Hayes. Pass to Stevens. Here's Ionescu. All alone. An absolute bomb from three-point range.
They really set Ionescu up for success there. Perfectly positioned with a good look at the hoop.
And here's Gray. And the call is going to be, an illegal screen.
Yeah, that's a quick foul to pick up here in the opening quarter.
And the Liberty with possession here. It's a three-point game. Ionescu outside. Pass to Stevens. The kick out to Hayes. 6 to shoot. Over Malunga. And it's Hayes missing.
She had all the space she needed, but just could not find the bottom of the bucket.
Now here's Gray. She's guarded by Stevens. And stolen by Hayes. Over Gray. And that one's good. Hayes.
Such an explosive player. Hayes gets defenders on their back heels. That opens up the pull-up game.
And we've seen Satou Sabally take her game to another level. Fellas, how has she done that?
Well, to me, you look at her three-point numbers. In the first 3 years, about 25% for deep. Last 2 years, a blistering 43%. Satou's consistency from deep has really opened up the floor in the rest of her game.
Ionescu outside. Inside. Stevens, that's good.
Stevens can score from anywhere, but on the interior is where the defense really has to worry about her.
Gray outside. Gray outside. Clock at 6. Malunga sets a screen. And the three off target.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Lucky she was off.
I just hope that was a mistake by the D, because if that's how they plan to guard her, they're going to have serious problems.
Reiner and the Liberty getting another bucket right there.
Early on, nearly perfect from the floor. Just one miss on their first 5 shots.
Gray outside. To the middle. It's deflected, and she recovers it. Outside Hayes. Pass to Ionescu. This one for 3. The rebound by Malunga.
Nice play on D. Got that hand in her face, and it prevented an easy look.
Exactly. She was alert and aware, and really just reacted quickly to that shot. Easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
And here in the first quarter, a little over 3.5 minutes played. Back to Griner. Pass to Ionescu. And stolen by Gray. Here's Cunningham. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and hitting it.
That's deflating for a team. Coughing the ball up, then having it turn into immediate points at the other end.
Yeah, that just feels like giving up 2 buckets.
And here's Griner. Guarded by Sabally. Shoots a fader. Griner's shot's good.
Look, the mid-range game, it's pretty old school. And Griner is about fundamentals. which means she can hit those shots.
Now here's Gray. No scoring yet from her, but that's likely to change. Now here's Griner. Pass to Ionescu. Back to Griner. Over Cunningham. Griner's shot is off.
It's very dangerous to leave her open like that. Lucky break for the D that she missed it.
Gray outside. Sabali. And the bucket counts, and she's on her way to the line to try to make it a three-point play.
And for Satu Sabali, 2023 was a breakout season. She was named Most Improved Player.
Yeah, it was also a first-team All-WNBA selection. That's going to put you in elite company. In her fourth season, things started to click for Sabali. Now, she's a bona fide star.
And it's Hayes missing. Indiana trailing. Pass to Gray to the inside. Malunga, good.
Nice work inside. Hard to get that one to go over the bigger defender.
Well, it was never going to be easy. A little artistry on the inside.
Call it maybe a Rembrandt.
Now here is Ionescu. Garrett.
Malunga covering.
To the paint. Pulls up. And that's in. Nice feed on the play.
Nice touch near the hoop.
And here's Indiana. On the wing, Alicia Gray. She's guarded by Stevens. Sabali, no good. And the Liberty with possession here. Here's Hayes. Pass to Griner. Ionescu. Gray defending. 5 to shoot. Fires for 3. Rebounded by the Fever.
The defender draped all over her. She just couldn't shake loose.
Malunga outside. Gray. Out to Gray. Pass to Walker Kimbrough. Puts up a 3. No luck on that one. New York leading. Down low. And stolen by Satu Sabali. Let's go. And that one's good. Gray.
It's Gray's understanding of spacing and movement that, to me, help her navigate around the court so well.
And here's Griner. Outside Stevens. Pass to Ionescu. That one drops for her second bucket. Marker 2 for 4.
Never scared to score near the hoop. Ionescu has a really impressive touch inside.
Now here's Sabali. And a miss there on the triple.
Personally, I am shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. She makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Left side Hayes. Reiner. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Tiffany Hayes.
I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
That might make the defense even worse, but that's 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed from right around the rim.
Gray, no good. On offense, here the Liberty. 3-point lead. Outside Stevens. Ionescu. Gray defending. Reiner, good.
And they're really keeping that ball hopping around.
Yeah, hip-hopping around if you ask me. Look, their last 5 trips have all ended with a great pass leading to a hoop. They are really sharing the basketball.
Now here's Gray. Gray outside. Sabali with it. Reiner's there. Sabali, no good.
You know, it's not been the best quarter for her as far as scoring. We'll see if she can get back on track.
Garrett.
Malunga covering.
Ionescu left side. Tiffany Hayes for 3. evens things up with that basket. Her second of 4, shooting 50%. Now Gray. She hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Outside Sabali. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch.
She just hasn't looked right. She hasn't. And something is off with her mechanics, I think.
1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Outside Hayes. 5 on the clock. Pass to Ionescu. And she can't extend the lead to double digits. And so the first quarter in the books. Liberty out in front. They're up by 8. And we'll return shortly. Now, the second quarter just getting set to begin. And taking a look at the Liberty performance here. Guys, what are your thoughts?
It's been a well-oiled machine on offense for them so far.
And they've kept the ball moving and their opponents chasing it. You know, it's kind of like a dog chasing their tail, just can't get enough. That's how they've piled up the points.
Count that one. Here's Banham. Pass to Zandalesini. Banham. From 12 feet out, Satu Sabali comes up with the board. Here's Walker Kimbrough. Angsler, pass to Brink. To the paint. And the layup's good off the glass.
Just a huge hole in the defense, and she didn't waste any time going through it.
Here's Mack. Brink covering. And here's Samuelson. Here's Banham. Brink brings down the board. Pass to Walker Kimbrough. Back to Brink. Here's Samuelson. Knocks down the 3 ball.
Well, that's the calling card for Samuelson, a big-time shooter.
And a return to the playoffs for the Fever in 2024. It was a huge step forward for the team.
For sure. Snapping a 7-year hiatus. And what's incredible is before that, the Fever went to 12 straight postseasons from 2005 to 2016. So this is an organization that is used to winning.
A mix of finesse and length gets Sabali the inside shot. Such a skillful player.
Here's Samuelson. Off target with the 3. Indiana trailing. And a 3-on-3 fast break. Here in quarter 2, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Pass to Walker Kimbrough. Sabali. From the arc. Out of bounds. It'll go to the Liberty. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Indiana Fever.
On Wednesday, they'll kick off a road trip in D.C. against the Mystics. And then on Friday, they'll kick off a homestand starting with the Connecticut Sun.
And that game against the Mystics, it's going to be their 7th outing of the year. You feel the team will continue to round into form.
Even with every shot clanging off the iron, she seems determined to continue hoisting up these threes. But I think it's time to maybe take a step in.
On offense, here the Liberty. They've only given up 6 here in this quarter. And here's Zandalesini. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for her.
Well, they're in the lead, but she's still been frustrated offensively.
Covered by Ionescu. A kick out to Brink. side, Cunningham. No good on the triple. New York leading. Takes a step back. Pass to Zandalesini. To the middle. Tipped. And stolen by Satu Sabali. Mack grabs the miss.
The D was ready for her that time, and they had to be. She is strong in the paint.
Stevens, the screen. The shot by Ionescu, no good. And they could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Yeah, too many empty possessions. I mean, it's simple. They need points.
Some defensive breakdowns happening now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
And giving up these high percentage shot attempts, it's not going to get it done. They need to figure it out.
Now here is Hayes. 5 points in the game. Here's Stevens. No good, and they can't put an end to this drought. Covered by Ionescu. Outside, Sabali. Shot clock at 6. And no good trying to use the glass. And so it's New York with it. It's a 3-point game. Pass to Hayes. Mack, great covering. Here's Ionescu. And she's back in business as a jumper finally drops.
Not ignoring the middle part of the court. The more of these that Ionescu hits, the more space she'll get to operate.
Time called here. The Fever decide to talk it over. Both teams deciding to change it up. Tonight's game is part of the Commissioner's Cup. So, guys, what's the biggest motivation for these players in the Cup?
What about the final game grand prize money? Every player in the championship game, whether you win or you lose, gets a bonus. But the winning players are going to get a little bit more. So I would say that's great incentive for them.
Now here's Ionescu. She's got 7. Pass to Griner. Ionescu. And it's the Fever on the break. From deep, Alicia Gray. And another 3 for Indiana.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. Just phenomenal ball movement.
Everyone's looking for the best shot, and it's paid off during this run.
Now here is Stevens. Now Griner. Ring covering. Over to the left wing. Out of bounds. It'll be Fever ball.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
The Fever with the lead. Gray outside. Inside. Dolson. Basket good off the assist from Alicia Gray.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it seems like it's come from inside the paint. Buckle up on defense.
Yeah, it's time to collapse down and make them shoot jumpers.
Pass to Hayes. Stevens up top. Back to Hayes. And here's Ionescu. No good. Had a chance to end the run there.
Rebound battle split about evenly.
Yeah, neck and neck on the glass. Just one aspect of what's been a very closely contested ball game.
And we love the close games.
Absolutely.
Now here's Gray. She's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. He brings it in. The shot clock ticks down.
They're just killing them in the paint.
You can say that again. I mean, the defenders aren't being nearly aggressive enough down low.
They're just killing them in the paint.
Thank you.
And right before the 2025 WNBA season, Chelsea Gray won Finals MVP of the new 3-on-3 league.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch that 3-on-3 league. Gray playing during the offseason, adding another title to her resume. She's got gold in the games, a few titles in the WNBA as well for good measure.
Now here's Gray. Pass to Sabali. And Ricky Parker with the block.
Length and vertical jumping ability pay monster dividends for Griner as a rim protector.
The Liberty Trail. Hayes with it. He has 5. Here's Griner. And a great assist that time by Sabrina Ionescu as that one goes in.
In the paint, Griner simply unstoppable. She's so tall at 6'9", but she also has lovely touch.
Here's Sabali, stolen by Sabrina Ionescu. Hayes, Gray defending. And it's Hayes missing.
Well, they call them layups for a reason. It's not easy to miss that close to the rim.
Pass to Gray. Outside Cunningham. Along us, that's a screen. Again, a miss by the Fever. Now Griner. Hayes. Pass to Ionescu. For three. Sinks the three-pointer. It's a tie ball game.
Can't give Ionescu any airspace from downtown. If you do, she'll torch you from there.
Now here's Gray. To the inside. Here's Sabali. And she was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws for her.
First personal foul. First team foul. At the line for your Indiana Fever, Satu Sabali.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. He's perfect from the line this time. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. The Fever on top. They're up by 2. And we will be right back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. See you in just a bit. And it's been a back-and-forth game with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter getting started here. You have to like what we're seeing from Satu Sabali.
I really love her tenacity defensively. Her play on defense has been a big factor for them as she comes away with steal after steal.
And as the game moves on, I think she should continue to be aggressive on the defensive end and really just keep ball handlers off balance.
Welcome back. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Now Gray lets the 3 fly. Stevens grabs the board.
She keeps trying to force it up when she's guarded, and she's just getting brick after brick. Here's my suggestion. Move the ball around.
Now here's Griner. Here's Ionescu. Nice D from Satu Sabali. Gray with it, working on Stevens.
Because of Stevens' competitive drive, she doesn't want to allow any easy buckets.
Garrett, Malunga covering. Pass to Ionescu. Out of bounds. Liberty ball as New York keeps possession.
A nice play to get a hand to that pass and tip it out of bounds.
She was just a hair away from coming up with the steal there. Good effort.
And she was all alone on that one.
This is her game. Ionescu is a scorer and stays active on offense. You love her confidence.
Gray outside. And Brittany Griner with the block. And it's out of bounds to the Fever as Indiana retains possession. On the wing, Alicia Gray. She's guarded by Hayes. Shot clock at 3. Shoots.
A donut. A 0 so far to start the second half. 4 straight misses.
Third quarter of play with just over 1.5 minutes gone by. Pass to Ionescu. Griner with the screen. Over Gray. And it's New York with another.
And Ionescu never seems to get rattled on the court. The shot clock was winding down, but she didn't care.
Now here's Malunga.
Gray covered by Ionescu.
Pass to Cunningham. Malunga sets a screen.
Again, the miss by the Fever.
Offensively, the struggles continue. 0 for 5 to start the half.
And here's Griner. And there's the 3-second violation.
Sometimes the intensity of a close game can lead to bonehead plays like that one, guys.
The Fever trailing. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by in the second half. And it's Sabali missing. And so it's New York with it. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. Ionescu misses.
The defense better watch out because she can make those 3 balls as we saw in the first half.
Outside Sabali. Good, and it's Chelsea Gray who picks up the assist.
The team gets Sabali set up perfectly. She starts her shooting motion the instant she has the ball.
Timeout called the Liberty. And so it's New York with it. Here's Hayes. He has 5. Sabrina Ionescu from outside. A rebound by Gray. Gray outside. Back to Gray.
Cunningham.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Fever will retain possession. And it's time to take another look at that powerful block.
Every basket's a big one in a tight game, and she is not about to give up an easy look.
Second half here, and we're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Gray, she's guarded by Hayes. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep, Satu Sabali. That doesn't go either for Satu Sabali. Out to the wing. Pass to Griner. Now Ionescu. New York, no good that time either.
And the 2024 finals, Sabrina Ionescu hit one of the biggest shots in league history.
With the series 1-1, Sabrina nailed a deep 3 with just a second left, silencing the crowd of over 19,000 in Minnesota. That was a key win and a huge reason why the Liberty won it all for the first time.
Now here's Griner. 10 points for her. Outside Stevens. Pass to Ionescu. Nice D from Chelsea Gray.
Yeah, remember that. And that's not an opportunity. She fails to convert very often.
Now Malunga.
Gray makes it off the glass.
With a wide array of offensive moves, Gray will pretty much make you pick your poison when you're guarding her.
Griner with the screen. Here's Stevens. And there's the foul. It'll go on Hayes. That is her first foul of the game.
Fantastic pass. She made that a very easy bucket with the setup.
Time called here. The Fever decide to talk it over. The Fever leading. And here's Sabali. 15 points in the game. Malonga sets a screen. See Gray for three. The rebound by the Liberty. Hayes with it. She's got 5. The shake, and the basket is good.
This is Hayes at her best, going downhill in full attack mode.
So it's Indiana now. Pass to Malonga. Gray. From deep. And it's Gray missing.
She's still looking for her first three-pointer of the second half after hitting just one three-pointer in the first half.
Now here's Griner. 10 points for her. Gray brings the double team. Griner with the ball. Picked up by Sabali. It's tipped. It's stolen by Gray. To the paint. Rejected by Azare Stevens. Pass to Banham. Now here's Griner. Guarded by Sabali. For the lead. And she tries off the glass, but it's no good. Here's Walker Kimbrough. Yes! Great play by Chelsea Gray to set it up.
Yeah, a mindful decision maker. Gray always knows where she is on the court and what's around her.
And that one goes in as she's fouled. It'll be 3 points if she can convert the free throw. Big contest here in the Commissioner's Cup. Both of these teams considered elite.
And both have a solid chance of making the finals. It does not get any more serious than this.
Well, at the 2024 games in Paris, Dominique Malonga helped France capture silver.
Yeah, at just 18 years old, she was a key part of that France team. That performance a big reason why she went so high in the draft.
Pass to Walker Kimbrough. 2 on the clock. The three-pointer, no good. New York trailing here. Outside Hayes.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
And here is Stevens. Gray defending. Gray brings the double team. Here's Andalassini. New York, no good that time either. Indiana with the ball. Gray outside. Pass to Walker Kimbrough. Inside. Here's Sabali. Stevens grabs the board.
Just not the quarter she would like to have when you talk about shooting the ball, but hopefully she can turn it around.
Here's Banham. Gray defending. For the lead. Rachel Banham, and that's good. Now Gray. Gray outside. Six on the shot clock. Back to Gray. Makes the three. Rebound New York. Here's Banham. Pass to Stevens. Over Malonga. That one wide left. And it's the Fever ball. 6-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Gray outside. Shot to stop the drought. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Yeah, she's one of the main reasons this game is tied up. And I would say she's done her part to keep them in it.
Stevens the screen. Tiffany Hayes for three. That one doesn't drop. And we wrap up the third, and it looks to be an exciting fourth. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get set for the fourth quarter. And we're set to start up the action in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first three, we should be in for a treat. Pass to Banham. Zandalasini. Over Cunningham. Bullseye!
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Outside Cunningham. Gray. Here's Brink. Gray. 18 feet out. Nash grabs the miss. New York in the lead. Out to the right wing. Here's Zandalasini. Brink brings down the board. Gray outside. Pass to Cunningham. The three. The rebound by the Liberty. Ionescu outside. Misses the three.
She has slipped into a real funk here.
Definitely. The basket is not looking very big to her at this point.
And here's Zandalasini. Pass to Banham. Zandalasini covered by Walker Kimbrough. Now here's Ionescu. Off target from outside.
This has been a rough second half for her shooting the ball. She should probably adopt a pass-first mentality at this point.
To the right side. Gray for three. It's hauled in by Cannon.
I think that one could have easily fallen for her.
The D may have done just enough there.
Here's Banham, covered by Walker Kimbrough. Pass to Zandalasini. Now Banham. Here's the three. And rebounded by Brink.
Well, despite her ineffectiveness, the team has found other scoring options.
And here's Walker Kimbrough. To take the lead. And it's Ionescu with the rebound. Tries it from 16. Banham's shot is good.
This is the kind of vision you get with Ionescu. She has a knack for finding the open teammate.
Offensive board.
Wow, it is a huge day on the glass for a player who's, you know what, they're giving up a lot of size to bigger players out there. Very impressive.
And that shot falls short that time. The Fever trailing. On the wing, Shatori Walker Kimbrough. To the left side wing. Gray outside. Cunningham sets a screen. Gray with the bucket. Ionescu has it. A little over 3.5 minutes in the books now for this fourth quarter. Here's Mack. Rebounded by the Fever.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with herself. That's one she expects to make.
Outside Cunningham. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Very close call there on the illegal screen.
I'd go along with it. You know, to me, it didn't really look like her feet were set.
Pass to Banham. Three-pointer. And again, it's the Liberty missing. Garrett. Here's Mack. Oh, Brink, get that shot out. Outside Cunningham. Malunga outside. Gray for three. Mack grabs the miss. Now Banham. Pass to Ionescu. Here's Mack. Malunga covering. 2 points. That one goes in. Here's Walker Kimbrough. She's tightly guarded.
Malunga outside.
On the wing, Shatori Walker Kimbrough. Again, the miss by the Fever.
Here's New York now.
A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points. Pass is on Delasini. Now Banham, covered by Walker Kimbrough. Here's Mack. Brink with the steal. And even 3-on-3 break. Here's Malunga. The basket good off the assist from Sophie Cunningham.
That's the type of lead pass we've really come to expect from her.
Now here is Ionescu. Pass is on Delasini. Ionescu. From outside, off the mark.
The defense has nothing to worry about out there with her shooting because she just can't dial it in from deep this half.
Malunga outside.
And here's Gray. Over Ionescu. And it's Gray missing.
She's sort of lost in this quarter. Nothing's going right for her.
Here's on Delasini.
She's covered by Cunningham.
Doesn't go for her. Down low. Walker Kimbrough. The shot goes down, and it gets this game back to even.
That's the area they want to work the ball into, and it takes passing like that to do it.
Timeout called the Liberty. So both teams making some changes here. Here's Hayes. Pass to Griner. Ionescu left side.
Tiffany Hayes on the wing.
To the middle.
And stolen by Cunningham.
Now here's Sabel. He's guarded by Griner. Here's Ionescu. Pass to Hayes. Griner. Just 5 to shoot. Tries to snap the cold streak.
The rebound by Malunga.
And here's Sabely. She's guarded by Griner.
Back to Cunningham.
2 minutes remaining.
Gray.
2 minutes.
To the inside. Yes! They get the go-ahead bucket.
Excellent work offensively to get that shot attempt into a can't-miss area.
New York trailing here. Ionescu outside. And stolen by Gray. Outside, Sabely. On the wing, Alicia Gray.
Pass to Malunga.
Now here's Gray.
And good. Coming off the assist by Malunga.
Love the concentration in the clutch. Gray doesn't get overwhelmed by pressure situations.
And here's Hayes. Outside, Stevens. No good from outside.
Throwing up ill-advised threes isn't how to close this gap. Got to get a better shot than that.
Gray. She's guarded by Hayes.
Left side Malunga.
Shot clock at 5. Gray in the post. She's guarded by Hayes. And she commits the intentional foul.
Second personal foul. First team foul.
Deep Satu Sabely. Griner with the rebound.
No time to spare. They need a bucket.
And then a steal or foul to stop the clock.
Looking to end the run. It's good. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
This coaching staff has so much trust in Stevens to come through when they need her.
First free throw is good, and that will put them up 2. So she goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
That last free throw was critical. Their only choice now is to go for the 3 to tie.
Pass to Griner. Shoots over Sabali. Griner, no good. And they're going to prolong the game with an intentional foul.
Yeah, they had to do that. You just can't let them dribble it out.
Definitely. Got to stop the clock any way possible and just hope they short arm a few of their free throws.
It's a good foul, and it's a good point in this situation to make them hit their shots.
Timeout called the Liberty.
Yeah, we're watching the huddle. I think the coach is telling them to take the easy points in a hurry, then foul as soon as possible.
Yeah, and you shouldn't just foul blindly, though. Go for the steal with all they've got before that.
Yeah, you can go for the steal for a second or two, then foul.
Ionescu, great defending.
Showing some strength in the paint. Tough rebound.
And so it's the Fever who come out on top here. Probably a little closer than they would have liked, but it's a win nonetheless.